pushing me up to the top. I saw the clouds looking angry, but then the sky reached my mind. And when I space out, I see the possibilities.
Hey, how is everybody on this beautiful, well, it is beautiful Saturday, but it has been raining all morning, all day. So it's a little dreary outside. It makes it hard for me to kind of get to moving. So what about you, Jen?
It's cold. It is.
Yeah,
The wind
that
is
too.
very disrespectful up here in Dallas, Texas. Okay.
Very. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I stepped out and I was like, whoo.
Yeah.
This temperature is nothing to play with.
And it's dropping. So it's on the way, Tyler, Texas. It's getting cold and windy and very disrespectful.
Very. I'm just like,
hey,
man.
everybody, what's going on?
Yeah. So how's your week been?
Oh, I'm glad it's over. Christmas is next week, and I'm up here Christmas shopping. So I'm waiting. I waited last minute to do my Christmas shopping, but we got everything. So I'm good. I'm ready to go back to enjoy my birthday weekend.
Ooh, happy birthday. Look, I haven't done any Christmas shopping.
Right.
None. Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about how fast this year has gone. Like, man.
It's like insane. Like, we're literally looking at 2022, like, in the face.
Yes, in a few days.
So,
yeah. It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, definitely. We have some amazing guests for y'all today. We have Shantaquilette Develle. She's a serial entrepreneur and a TikTok influencer. Then we have Michelle Franklin and VANCITO of the Reflections team.
The Reflections team.
Yes. So we are excited to see what our amazing guests have to share with us today. So let's I don't see. Let me add her and see if she's ready. Okay. Let me send our guest a quick message. She was on. But let's just talk about there she is. I was going to say, let's just talk about what we got going on in a few. Well, here is the beautiful Shantaquilette. Hi.
How are you?
We are good. Like, I am thrilled to have you on our show. Thank you for agreeing to be on our show today.
Absolutely.
Miss Shanta is a serial entrepreneur, I feel like. Look, you've been in the corporate world for years. Yes, years. Like with you've been with the IRS for that, you recently retired, and that is awesome. So let's dive into just a little bit about you. You are the founder of Girl Be Natural.
Yes.
Style Follows Her.
Yes.
And the Pink Peppermint project. Pageant.
Yes.
Look, I see a pageant. So you hosted a really in the past you've done GlamCon. So let's talk about GlamCon a little bit.
Yeah, so GlamCon is the conference and event from Pink Peppermint Project, which is a nonprofit that I founded along with my daughter and my first cousin, Ashley. It is to provide services and resources for women with breast cancer and their caregivers. And so what we wanted to do is to instill and invoke empowerment, lift up women and let them know that they're not alone, but bring them amongst their peers to not only talk about those things that goes unheard, but to just make sure we fellowship, we have sisterhood, and we get through those muddy waters of survivorship. And so GlamCon was created to do just that. It is a all day, 1 day conference with women from all walks of life. You know, the thing about cancer is that it does not discriminate. So women are, you know, doctors, lawyers, moms, mothers, grandmothers. The list goes on. And so we bring all those ladies in one room to celebrate life, to celebrate survivorship, to celebrate thrivership, which is really important, as well as educate them with, you know, what's going on in regards to treatment, and to make sure that they are keeping up with healthy regimens. Those that are holistic, especially, you know, yoga, you know, herbs and things like that. And then just going over research. We have doctors from across the country that come to GlamCon to support these women, to let them know that they care. And that's basically what it is. It's, you know, it's a festival for, you know, breast cancer patients and their caregivers and friends and whoever has a love for those women. And so we don't want them to think that they're alone. And nobody always wants to talk about being sick and dying. You know, there's women who are overcoming, who are thriving, and that's really important.
Okay, that's awesome. So will we get a GlamCon 2022?
Yes, we are going to be working on a GlamCon 2022. Yes.
Awesome.
You know, we did it virtual last year, and you know, well, here's the thing. This is what I'm going to say. I can't say it's going to be virtual or in person because, you know, unlike the, you know, the other events that go on, the women that we, you know, serve are in a very delicate position, and with, you know, COVID, different variants running around, you know, women's immune systems are already affected. We want to make sure that we are nurturing, and we pay special attention to them. So we had a very, very great turnout with our first virtual event in 2020. I'm sorry, in 2020. So this year it was just so much going on. But next year we plan on doing GlamCon again and other events.
Okay. Ooh, that's exciting. Yeah. So let's talk about Girl Be Natural. This is an all natural product. You have deodorant, you have Yanni bars, correct?
Yes.
And other products along with Girl Be Natural. And you co-founded that with your daughter. Yes. So how did that come about with y'all wanting to become business partners?
So actually, it was, you know, everything that I do comes from a need. It's a story behind it. So most of the things is never intentional. It's like unintentional. Something happens and it's like, oh, here's this great idea. This is what we need to do to fill a gap in the market, right? Just like GlamCon and Pink Peppermint Project, there was a gap in the market and we wanted to fulfill that. So, you know, me, I'm a stroke and a heart attack survivor, and during the process, I was shifted into premenopause. Right during that time, my daughter became pregnant, and she was already having some, you know, feminine issues as well. But it wasn't until I started having some issues and not being able to find products on the market that could mitigate those issues. And so my dad, who has about 30 to 40 years as a chemical compounder with companies like Mary Kay, you know, Windex, so many companies, you know, I talked to him about, you know, what to do. He was, you know, telling me to go private label, but I know a lot of those companies hide behind the word fragrance. And so a lot of those ingredients are not good for you. So I became certified as a herbalist and aromatherapist while I was in my bed, recovering from a stroke, to heal my body, to make sure I wasn't, you know, musty and funky and all those things. And I created a product in my kitchen. I had my focus group of friends test it out. That's why we say we test on our good girlfriends, not animals. And the products worked, you know, and so we send them out in our packages and things like that. And so that's how Girl Be Natural Thrive Innovations was founded.
Yes. And I love the deodorant. Wow. And when I tell you it works, Jen, you would love it.
I'm glad it works.
Yes.
How old is your daughter?
It works. I'm sorry. Oh, I think she asked, how old was your daughter?
23. She was 23. Yeah. She's 23 now. She was 22 when we started. I want to say 22, 21 when we started. So we'll be going into our second year. So she'll be 24. So she was
That's
22. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
so
That's
let's get
awesome.
into
So how has it
look.
been working with?
Yeah.
Yes. Repeat what you said, Jen.
I'm sorry, can y'all hear me?
Yes,
I
we
know
can
the
now.
service is not the best around here, but okay, cool. So no, I was just saying, what has been like in with your daughter and creating products for women with her.
It's been amazing. We get along really well. We don't mix business and personal. So that's really great. I know a lot of people, the first thing they say, like when we pitch and we, talk to investors and things like that, the first thing they say is like, oh, how can you work with your daughter? Or how can you work with your mom? And it's not really even like that. It's, like we have a really great relationship. She provides a lot of assistance. She has a lot of expertise, especially when it comes to marketing and communications and graphics that has allowed our business to grow. So I'm grateful for her. I think, everybody, like there's this taboo or this this saying that family can't work together, and I think family actually should work together more. That's how you build generational wealth and empires. You have the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts, and you have all these Chase, JP Morgan, Chases that are all family owned businesses. And now, 100 years later, they're still billion-dollar businesses. So I think it's really important to put that factor in when you are dealing with family. Make it work. And what doesn't work, take it out. But I think it's a positive thing.
That's cool.
That's why
I love
Ashley is
that.
part of. That's why, because Ashley's always part of everything. So
Mhm. Yes. And like she said, I feel it's important that you do include family and things that you do. A lot of us don't think like that.
Oh, for
And
sure.
that's why we are still stuck.
Yeah,
But definitely. So let's get into the funny
that
Shanta, the
part.
hey Shanta Q.
that's me all the time. I'm
Look,
still funny through it all.
yes, yes. So I have a video. It's the grandmas be like. I'm gonna pop it up for y'all to look at, okay?
Listen, don't make this no every weekend thing now. Don't be coming in at no wee hours of the night. I got Sunday school in the morning. Ain't nothing open after 12 but legs in a hospital. Why y'all got them short dresses on like that? Hope you packed enough diapers and wipes. I ain't getting up at night now. I wasn't in the streets like this after I had a baby.
Oh, I laughed so hard at that one. And then the other one with the greens, the turnip greens, that one went viral. Like it
I'm
was
no turnip
all
greens, child. It was collards and mustard. I don't
oh
like no turnip
collards.
greens.
Okay. But when you said no nothing be open at midnight but legs.
I get that from my daddy.
Yes, look, I've heard that. Yeah. Definitely. So
Oh,
you started
yeah,
TikTok,
say that all the time.
pretty much at the beginning stages of it, before it like really the popularity of it. I remember when you first started making videos.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so let us know about your rise in the TikTok world and being a TikTok influencer.
Yeah, so it wasn't intentional at all. It was, something that I was just doing in my spare time. One day, my daughter asked me to participate, me and my husband to participate in the TikTok, and it was kind of like a questionnaire where her and my son were asking, different questions about us as parents, right? And so I did a few more other videos with her, did a few dance videos, and then I just started, looking at other people's videos and just, came, really inspired, right? And so, I love comedy. I've always loved comedy. That's just, my personality, always been witty. And so I just started creating like random stuff at first. First, I didn't know my place. I didn't know about what viral was, viewers. I didn't know anything. I just was like, hey, this is fun. There are so many funny people in the world. They're making me laugh. And I started making videos. And so one of my girlfriends, Shantae, was saying like, hey, you just started doing those, some of the stuff that you talk to us about, those jokes, you're just so funny. You need to just put that out to the world, right? And so I was like, okay, I'm in corporate, I'm a CEO of a nonprofit, even though my personality is almost the same throughout, I was like, I don't know how the world will take that on. I don't know how, me, doing all this funny haha stuff is going to look. And then I started doing videos, and then I remember my first video that got like 12,000 views. I think no, 2,700 views. And I was asking my daughter, I was like, what does that mean? What does these views mean? And she was like, oh, that's good. And then, it started to get to 12,000. And I started getting comments, and then people were, giving me different ideas and saying, hey, this and that. And uh, one day I did a video just, based off of, how I was feeling, a little story that I told. And I woke up one morning and I had like 3 million views. And I was like, wow. And it was going across the world. It was being translated in different languages, Celebrity Yahoo, then ended up getting ranked as the top 20 TikTok moms to follow. It just started happening really fast. And I was really enjoying it. So I didn't know anything about, monetizing it or anything. Without the money, I was still making videos. And then, I ended up in the Creators Fund, now the Marketplace. And now I'm working with brands like, Hoover Vacuum, Buffalo Wild Wings, just recently the NAACP, so it has, when you do what you love, I find when you do what you love, and you have a passion, and it comes from the heart, then, God will make room for you. What do you say? If I give you one, I'll give you many. So I just believe that I'm truly doing what's on my heart. I call it holistic free giggles, free holistic giggles. Because I believe, a lot of times laughter is what kept me from crying. Looking through TikTok is what kept me from crying, and being upset and being stressed out. And so I want to provide, wholesome content that people can relate to. Everything that I do is, you know, what is relatable, what I do in my life, what I deal with in my everyday life, my son, everything, and a lot of people don't want to talk about that, menstrual cycle, PMS, menopause, aging, all this stuff is real life, so, and I just translate it in a humorous way.
Yes. And I mean, I love it. And then your son, like, how did he come in? Because now it's like you see you see him. Y'all are a duo. So people
Yeah.
expect to see you.
Yeah, we are a duo. Really the whole family, but I believe I'm trying to believe what video he did. Oh, so one day he was just sitting in the living room. He was sitting in the living room playing, well, he's sitting upstairs in the dining room playing his video game. And I asked him, just randomly, I was doing TikToks and he just happened to be there where I was doing, batching other TikToks. And so I just said, ooh, I think somebody had I saw a video with BBD Poison playing. And I was like, oh, I remember when I was in the talent show. And so I was like, Addison, I said, Addison, do you want to see me do my video, my performance when I was in a talent show in the 7th grade? And he was like, no. And I was like, yes, you do. And he was like, no. And so I put the recorder on anyway and did and did that video. So that was his real reaction. And so a lot of the videos are his real reaction. And so when we started, doing those videos, and we are like, dang, 5-6 million people have watched this video, and they're like, oh, I like you and your son together. And so now it's become a business. So we are also business partners. We are paid content creators together. And so yeah, it's just really great to have that bond, with your child, especially, you always hear about the Black mom and her son, right? And that's what I really want to instill. You always see mothers and daughters, but I just want to really translate the relationship that we have with our sons, and how really it's important, how important mothers are in their sons' lives, right? We prepare them for their wives, right? So
Yes.
I just want to show, a wholesome, great relationship between my family. Even my husband, he participates, and just say that we're everyday people with the same problems everybody else has.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Jen, you have anything?
I love it. Love it.
Yes. So
no, I don't. I like the fact that you started when everybody else kind of did, and it was like, we didn't have anything else to do. We were at home. TikTok was was new
Folks
at
was
the
laughing
time.
at me,
And
child. They was
nobody
laughing
knew what
at me,
it
child.
was, and now everybody's trying to get on.
Look, they
Yes.
was all the people
So
was getting on
yes,
there
I
was
love
laughing
that.
and judging me and calling them goofy videos, and I was too grown. And you know,
Look, now they paying you.
later, a few zeros later, now people like, how you do that? How would you
Exactly.
get on there and do that?
Yeah.
Now it's paid advice.
Look, there you go.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't
There
want it
you
when it
go.
was free.
Right. Look, that's when they don't want it, is when you giving it out.
Yeah. Like, hey,
But-
just go on there and do this and be
Mhm.
yourself. It's like, but now, like, yeah, now I don't even have time. You know, I take a few, clients here and there, but I really just don't have time because content creating is really, I got all these businesses is really trying to, maintain them. And being a content creator is a full-time job. And it has demands just like a regular job because,
Yes, it is.
you have these Fortune 500
Yes,
companies,
it
billion
is.
dollar companies reaching out to you. They have deadline standards, contracts that have to be met, timelines have to be met. So yeah, it's and my son sometimes when he's tired, I'm like, hey, we got to get this video out. They want this video. They said 3 days after we get
Right.
we get the merchandise or whatever. So yeah, but it's
Yeah.
fun. I mean, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
As long as it's fun, I love it. Once
That's
it becomes fun, I
awesome.
I
won't.
love that.
I do too. I love that it's a family affair.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So how can they reach out to you and
Mhm.
connect with you?
Yeah. So you can go to TikTok at Hey Shantaquilette TV, Instagram Hey Shantaquilette TV, Instagram is Hey Shantaquilette TV. If you want to, see me, my corporate life and me more in a more serious my more serious personality, you can just go to Shantaquilette, and then you can go to also the Pink Peppermint Project. If you want to donate, volunteer with the organization, and if you want to buy products and stay healthy, then you can go to www.girlbenatural.co.
All righty. Well, look, thank you for taking time out of, because I know you're busy, for taking time
Nice.
and hanging with us for about, few minutes and just sharing your story and your journey.
Yeah.
Y'all follow her on
Absolutely.
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and hey, you will not regret it. Yes. Well, thank you so much.
You're
Bye.
welcome.
Have a great weekend.
Pepper.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome. I remember when she, like I said, when she first started doing those TikTok videos. Like I said, that's when TikTok was
We should have got on the train when it first started.
Look, I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, man, why didn't we do that? But yeah, and she just kept doing them. And so it was awesome. But yeah, I should have told that story while she was on, but this past summer, we do a cousins brunch before our family reunion. And we were at the Grove.
Uh-huh.
And we were all out taking pictures and stuff. Well, there was this group at the table and they recognized her from TikTok. And so
wow.
she ended up doing a TikTok video with them and taking pictures. And it was just really cool for us to see her in her element. Like it was, we had fun. So, but yeah.
That's awesome. I'm here for it because, I mean, if you can change somebody's life with just laughter, I mean,
yes.
that's what we're here for.
Exactly.
Change the world. I love it.
I know it. Well, let's jump into a quick ad break.
Let's do it.
Well, we are back.
I
Let's
love
tell
that
them real
commercial.
quick about the swag bag opportunity that we have coming up that we're actually going to put out on social media next week.
Yes, indeed. So May is going to be an amazing month because we are going back to the Ultimate Women's Expo, and we want to make sure I know you saw the interviews. I know you saw all of the content, the pictures, everything. And the people were actually, interested in what we had to offer. So if you are not in the magazine, if you are not, if you have not been on the show, you have got to be in these swag bags. I'm telling you, you have got to be, because it is something that is going to boost your business. If you have business cards, if you have flyers, if you have postcards, if you have samples, whatever you use to market your business, send it to us. And we will help you market your business to people that you don't even know, people that are not connected to your social media, that you don't see on a day-to-day basis. It is something, it's one extra step for people to know who you are and what your business is about. And that's what it's all about. You don't want to just stay in your community. You don't want to stay within your realm of social media. You got to go out. You have to expand, broaden your horizons, and you can do that with our swag bags. So what you need to do is you need to go to www.bamwoman.com, fill out the form, send us an email, say, hey, did you get my form? Because I'm ready. Let's do this. And we got you covered.
Yes, we have the special. It's already on the website. So we have our early bird special, and it's $75. I'm sure it's right. That's the price. Okay. $75.
500 items.
Yes. So you definitely want to hop in on that early bird special because it will go up after the first of the year. So, and our bags,
and it will go up again the closer that we get to May. So just know that you better get in now. Get in where you fit.
And we had people wanting those bags, so because of just what was in them,
ran out.
So we gave out both days.
Volumes by itself. You know, people are actually wanting those bags and wanting everything that's in it. So absolutely,
So definitely be creative when it comes down to the swag bags and putting your products and samples in there. So, all righty, we're gonna add our next guest, the Reflections team, Michelle and VANCITO.
Hey, Reflections team.
Hey, how are y'all?
Good. How you doing? How you doing, ladies? Everything good?
We are great. Michelle, we can't hear you.
You are on mute, darling.
There you
I'm
go.
I'm all happy and I'm on mute.
There you go.
Hey, Michelle, I don't know how you did it, but now I'm on the banner side. Well, how did that happen? I was on the other side before. Nah, man. No, I gotta come back in. I gotta come back in. No, it's all good. With this banner's kind of like see-through, so it's all good.
Yes.
It works.
Yes. It is. It is. Yes. Wow. Well, we are excited to have the Reflections team on the show today.
We're excited to be here.
Yeah, it's a real thrill. You know, Michelle talks about you guys all the time. I feel like I know you guys. I mean, she's always talking about y'all and talking about the work that you guys are doing and stuff like that. And then when she told me that we were gonna, be on your show, I was like, oh, good. We get a chance to discuss a little more about, what we do. So thank you for having us.
Oh, y'all are so welcome.
Yes. For being on.
Oh, I can't hear you, Jen.
So Michelle. Yes. So Michelle, did you want to start off?
I was waiting on Jen.
Oh, you're waiting on someone.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. You got it?
No. Can y'all hear me? No.
Yeah, we can now.
We can hear you.
Hold on.
We can hear you now.
You just went on mute.
I think so.
Okay, can you now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we have.
No, I was just
Okay.
saying we thank you for allowing us to spotlight you, because it's definitely an honor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Same here.
Well,
Same here. Thank you.
so we just we know Michelle has been in the medical field for what, over 20 years.
Definitely.
You're a speaker, motivational speaker, inspirational speaker, leader in your area and in the community. So we just want to hear a little bit about reflections and how um, your team came about.
Yeah, so it came because I started an intentional healing journey back in 2019, and I shared this a little bit when I was on the show before, but I was just at a place. I don't know if you guys have been there. Maybe it's just me, but at a place where you just kind of discuss it with yourself, where you just feel like, what am I doing in this life? I was kind of drowning in depression, drowning in anxiety, drowning in panic attacks. And I have a book that came out last weekend where I talk about this experience, but I almost died. I got real sick. I had an infection in my belly, and I was praying. I said, Lord, if you just get me out of this, Lord, if you get me out of this, I promise I'll get about this purpose, because he had given me, visions and things. And so I literally started praying, and the next thing that I know, I said, Lord, whatever you have me to do. And so the next thing I know, that was my cousin introduced me into this fasting group. And so I started fasting, doing a 21-day water fast. And I told y'all that story before, where initially the fast was 3 days and it was 10 days, and it ended up being a 21-day water fast. But at that point, I was so desperate to change. I didn't care what it was. And one of my biggest things is that, I named my company Divine Intervention, because I don't believe in coincidences, only God's divine intervention in our lives. And so, walking with that, I was thinking, okay, whatever you lead me to. So when I got to the fast, I met VANCITO. He was one of the, beautiful people that were in the fast, and that was being vulnerable in a situation where he was being transparent. And so that's why we do what we do, because you realize when you come into a place where you are healing or you have healed, knowing that you're healing, when you're doing it with somebody else and you do it in a group setting, it helps other people to heal. Because VANCITO was so transparent, VANCITO had been in a situation where he had some childhood trauma. I've been in a situation where I had some childhood trauma, and I was like, man, this man is being so transparent, and he's just being open. And he talked about how his journey had led him to this healing. And I was like, man, I need to get there. You know what I mean? So, and so when I thought about, coming out on the other side and how can I give back, he was like the first person that I thought about. I said, man, collaboration is my word for the year. And I was like, man, who can I team up with to, help get some other people, bring some other people out of these stuck places, to bring some other people along. And he was the next person that I thought about. So the first person that I thought about. So VANCITO, just amazing in the fasting journey and his healing journey. And I'm going to allow him to share his story with you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Michelle actually, very impactful person, and well, my journey started in 2014. I was diagnosed with being pre-diabetic, high blood pressure, enough to, if I didn't get this under control, a number of things that if I didn't get this under control, I was going to be taken out of here. And I knew that. So I went to the doctor, I got the diagnosis, and the doctor had a whole regimen he wanted me to do. He wanted me to go on medications and stuff like that. And I said, no, I don't really have that stuff, because I don't believe in claiming disease. I believe that there's a disruption in functionality, and we're going to deal with it accordingly. But we were going back and forth about it. So I took the prescriptions. I didn't fill them, but I took them just to appease him. And I said, there's no way I'm going to start taking pills. So I went home and I prayed like Michelle. I prayed to God. So Michelle did her conversion in 2019. I did mine in 2014. Same scenario that we talk about. That's why I know that this is a divine intervention. We basically, when she talks about what happened with her, it's the same story. So I prayed about it. 15 minutes later on Facebook, I saw a video of somebody saying that you got to do a 21-day water fast. Same story. And I just said to God, okay, thank you, I'll do it. Now, a 21-day water fast, if anybody else had told me that at any other time, I would have been like, you crazy. No, that's impossible. Nobody can do that. But I didn't even question it. I took it as that was God's answer. I heard a voice spiritually, you need to fast. And then I saw that video. So I did the fast and I started healing parts of myself that I could never actually come to terms with. So I went through certain events of sexual abuse. There were attempts on me as far as, and I'm talking about, a male, a elder family friend, right? And I think that what happens with us men is when that happens to us, a lot of times we obviously don't know how to process that, and it wasn't just the act, it was the verbal abuse that came out of that. Because when it happened, I told my mom, because something wasn't right. And I told my mom, I said, Mom, this is what happened. And she didn't believe me. So that was another part. So now I thought it was my fault. You know what I'm saying? That this whole thing took place. And he told me it was my fault. So imagine being a 6-year-old baby who doesn't know anything, okay? That this traumatic event takes place and you're being blamed for it. So of course you bottle that up. You bury it, you suppress it. But meanwhile, you never cured it. And imagine the era that I grew up in. It's not like today where there's help available. I'm a child of the 60s, so it's like, you didn't talk about, and then that, we didn't talk about things in our families. You didn't air dirty laundry, so to speak. So, I just kind of grew with this tumor of dysfunction just growing inside of me, overcompensating many times because I didn't want nobody to think I was a punk. You know what I'm saying? Getting into trouble. At one point I became quite violent. I became quite promiscuous. I had to prove myself to myself as a man in many situations that you really shouldn't have to. And these are just the things that started to happen. Well, once I did that fast, I was able to come to terms with all of those things, and when I went back for my follow-up, the doctors found nothing. That's when I knew fasting is a healing modality like no other. It's a healing modality. And lastly, certain members of my family who, like say you have these problems within your family that may have been passed down, because this is generational stuff we're about to talk about. That me and Michelle, that's why we came together, because it's not just for us, it's to heal our family units. So people that weren't even speaking to me started speaking to me. And I put 2 and 2 together. I said, I healed parts of myself that opened up something for them. And they were able to come in and we were able to mend fences. Okay, so this is a very powerful, powerful thing that we're talking about. Right, Michelle?
Yes. So tell us why Reflections and who should join the team.
That's one of the things. It is for people that feel like like us. Like I always say, I am you and you are me, right? We are reflections of each other. It is, who's not just depression, not just anxiety, not just panic attacks. People are like, oh, I don't deal with any of that. It is if you have an issue with unworthiness. And me and VANCITO talked about this, because if you would have asked me, right, if I had an issue with unworthiness a few years ago, I would say, oh, no, honey, not me. What you talking about?
Right.
Because you don't know what all is in there. And like VANCITO talked about, stuffing that stuff down. And that's why I call it what's in the pit of your belly. You know, it's what is all that stuff that is holding you hostage. It's down off in there, right? You think about where most of your weight is. Where is it?
In your belly.
In your belly, right? So it's those people, you know, if you're overweight, guess what? You have an issue with unworthiness. If you have a drinking issue, if you're drinking and you got to come home and drink, you have an issue with unworthiness. If you have to smoke a little bit, you have an issue with unworthiness. If you have to judge other people, you have an issue with unworthiness. You know what I mean? It's not just it's not just this surface thing. Right. If you can't talk to somebody without getting an attitude or being angry or coming back, you know, nasty, something going on there, boo. You know what I mean? And what this program does, because it encompasses, not only does it encompass fasting, we're focused on the mind, body, and the spirit. All of it is connected. When I first started, I thought it was just this one thing, but no, it is a combination of the things, right? And so when you tackle that and you tackle it from this vision, and we're tackling it, you know, for a straight 30 days, we're giving you, you know, different things from a mental perspective, from a spiritual perspective, from the body perspective, and tackling that unworthiness in you. And some people are going to say, like I said, I don't have an issue, but when you look back over your life, if you can't look in the mirror, we had people that were not even able to look in the mirror at themselves.
Right.
You can't even look in the mirror at yourself. You have some people that, you know, if you don't understand why you gain weight, lost weight, gain weight, lost weight again, we can help you with that, because it's not just the weight. You know, that's what I thought. I thought, man, it's just this weight I'm eating too much. It's this or whatever. It's not just the weight. It's not the fact that you're physically putting. It is in the pit of the belly stuff that we haven't dealt with. And once you start dealing with it, and once you start healing, you know, weight will come off.
That's so true.
The physical weight will come off, because the spiritual is holding you hostage. And
right.
So
you're not feeding your spirit. You're not feeding your spirit. Every day we get up, whatever our routine is, you know, we got to go to work, we got to do this and that, and all that's important. And I'm blessed that I have a job that I actually like. You know, a lot of people can't say that, but am I answering my calling? You know, those fleeting moments of bliss that you receive sometimes? Well, I want that all the time. I want that mostly all the time. You know, so in healing oneself, it's basically feeding your spirit. And what we tackle also is, I look at it this way. In a bloodline, there's a lot of things that are passed down. You know, they call it generational curses, generational strongholds. Okay, I look at it this way. I'm the chosen one in my bloodline. Somebody's got to do it. Okay, because if you don't do it, it gets passed down to your lineage. I feel like Michelle is the chosen one in her bloodline. There's so many, like Michelle said, you can't look at yourself in the mirror. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror for 35 years. I always say I was a 6-year-old for 35 years because I never dealt with the trauma from childhood. And that was just one incident. There's several. Okay, and I know I'm not alone, because as I started speaking to men about what I had gone through, I mean, multitudes of men came up to me and said, that happened to me, and worse stuff. Men, you know how many men have been raped as young boys? We're not even talking about somebody touching you or, you know, somebody, you know, whatever. We're talking about rape on a regular basis, and then dealing with that, you know, on a daily basis, and trying to keep what manhood you have left And then you wonder why some guys just don't know how to act. Now, I'm not saying everybody with an attitude has been molested. That's not what I'm saying. But you'd be surprised how many are. And if there's, and another thing that we do is if there's any part of yourself that you don't particularly care for. Now, me, when this happened to me, I started going bald in my early 20s. Imagine a young guy, handsome as I am, right? I know you can't, slow down now. All of a sudden, I'm losing my hair and I don't know what the hell to think. And there's nobody in my family like that. So you say, oh, it comes from your mother's side. Well, my mother's side ain't like that. I said to my mother, you sure I belong to my father? I had to make a joke out of it. But I recently just started letting it grow. Now, I would never do this. This George Jefferson thing, that's not me. Because the minute this happened, I cut all this off and I kept all that, or I shaped it up, whatever, did the goatee. But you wouldn't catch me dead like this. But that was a part of myself that I hated. I hated that part of myself. So since I think it was October, I said, I'm not going to cut it at all. Not going to trim it, cut it until the first of the year. This gives me an opportunity to look in the mirror every morning and come to terms with this situation.
Yeah.
And now I'm comfortable with myself just like this. Now, am I going to keep it? Probably not, because I don't prefer it. It's not me. But at least I don't hate it anymore. And that's what Reflections is all about. Reflections is about learning how to love you, because without love for yourself, you can't love others if you don't love yourself. You can love others with conditions and others will love you with conditions. But unless you start to really love yourself unconditionally as much as possible, then everything else is kind of a surface deal. And that's what we do in Reflections. This was not possible even a year ago. No, not even a year ago.
Wow.
Not even 6 months ago.
So proud of him for that.
Not even 6 months ago.
Wow.
Recently, I gave up drinking. I had a serious drinking problem. And I kept going back and forth with it. And now I really don't think I ever want to drink again. Now, will I have a sip once in a while? Maybe. But it's not something that I need. Why? Because my spirit is being fed. Mm-hmm. When you feed your spirit, and Michelle talked about worthiness and unworthiness, that's the key to the universe right there.
Wow. Yeah. That's awesome. Like, man, I'm speechless. Y'all I mean, what y'all have going on and what you're doing, people need to be a part of it. Like you said, one of the hardest things is when you are eventually, trying to peel those layers back and figure out who you are, is looking at yourself in the mirror, like looking at you. And you can go and look at yourself in the mirror and be like, oh, but when you truly stop and look at yourself in the mirror, it hits differently.
It does.
Yes,
it definitely does.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that happened, was that when I first started healing in VANCITO, we did mirror work. It's by Louise Hay. And it's one of the modalities that we use as well. But the first night, the first assignment is to go and look in the mirror, and it's, this exercise that you do. And VANCITO said that night, he said, don't just go look in the mirror, look in your eyes, right? Mm-hmm. He said, look in your eyes. And not, because I'm thinking, oh, that's not a big deal. All right, we're going to do this mirror work, whatever, blah, 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 And so when he said that, and then when I went to actually do the exercise, I realized I had not ever really looked in my eyes. I said, oh my God, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Because again, if you just ask me, who doesn't go to the mirror every day, brush your teeth, you fix your hair, you do your stuff, right? But to actually sit and look at yourself, to look in your eyes, to look at you. And like, I got a bump right here, I got a pimple right here, I have this right here. I have, to notice these things about yourself without criticism. Right. You know what I mean? This is me. This is who I am. Right. and loving all of it. Now, can I make some changes about it? Sure. But do I love me? Do I love all of me? And how can I say yes if I've never even looked?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? How do you know yet? You really don't know yet because you haven't really done it. That's what I realized. That's what I realized. And I thought, okay, Lord, this is what we're doing. Okay. Okay. You know what I mean? Because again, I didn't know. I didn't even know. And so that's the amazing part I think about this is you may be out there listening like, oh, and I ain't never, but you really don't know.
Right.
You really don't know. And 9 times out of 10, I will say 95% of the people are walking in darkness. You know what I mean? They're walking in this space where they think they're doing, they're just living, they're just existing.
Right.
Because that's what I was doing. You go down my Facebook page, honey, my pictures are good. Toyia, you know I take cute pictures.
Yeah. There you go. Yes.
Scroll down my Facebook page, honey, cute pictures on there. Swimming in just darkness. Just didn't even know what I didn't know.
Right.
Didn't even know that I wasn't seeing and loving on myself. You know, I took this year and really like every year gets a little deeper and deeper. And so I started with the 21-day fast for my birthday. My birthday is May the 14th. For my birthday, I did a 42-day fast. And people thought the 21 was something, but the 42 was for me, and it has been life-changing. It has been life-altering. I was wondering why I was in a relationship that I couldn't, wasn't being satisfied in these relationships, because I sat up and I thought, I've never really given a man all of me. Never. Because I've been divorced for 25 years, 24 years now. And after that divorce, I was like, I'm not really doing this stuff no more. You know what I mean? And a part of me closed down and I didn't even realize it closed down. I was saying, I'm not doing that love stuff. That was my, surface thing. I'm not doing that love stuff no more. And I've been in relationship. Understand, right? I've been in a relationship. I've been in relationships. But those men didn't know me. They don't know me. Because guess what? You didn't get all of me. Because guess what? I'm just finding out who all of me is.
Right.
Well, in my case, that's a good point. In my case, it was self-hate. And self-hate, when you have self-hate, it's almost impossible to be in a healthy relationship with anyone. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a relationship with you, it's quite almost impossible to be in a relationship with almost anyone else. They'll never really know you. They'll never get to know you. You'll never let them in. You will lay with them and you'll hang with them and you'll eat with them and, you'll spend a few years together, but you won't let them in. And that was my situation. That was my situation. So it was necessary for me to heal. And I'm glad I found the modalities that I found. And yes, this is what reflections is all about. And you asked the question, who should do reflections? Who shouldn't do reflections?
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody. Everyone.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. Wow.
And, and lastly, even if it's not reflections, you got to find something that appeals to you to heal. We have a formula that we use. Hey, it may not be your thing, but you got to find something that's going to propel you, to challenge you to heal what needs to be healed, because you don't see what's wrong. That's why you can't heal it. And the mind that created the problem damn sure can't fix it. That's why we do it in a group setting. Because if I try to do all this stuff by myself, and it's impossible, because my mind created it. So how can I fix it with my mind? I needed others around me to point things out and to to come on board with certain things. So a group is, in this case, fellowship is very necessary with healing like this.
Yeah. That is so true. Is there anything else that you want to share with our listeners and our viewers before we ask how they can reach out and connect with you?
Well, the last thing is, while you have, I always say, when we're going through stuff, one of the biggest things I've learned in this healing journey, the most important thing that I've learned is that, before I could always tell you who hurt me and who did what, and I can always point my finger, right? But understanding that I have 3 fingers pointing back at me. And so at some point, we have to take responsibility. Is the molestation wrong? Yep, it's wrong. Is the rape wrong? Yep, it's wrong. Divorce wrong? Yeah, it's wrong. Did he cheat on you? Yep. Did she cheat on you? Did she hurt you? Yeah, it is. But it is a choice how I've dealt with it, right? And me taking the responsibility to say, you know what? I've had some things happen to me. I've had the rape. I've had the molestation. I've had the men promise me and they, lose the promises, right? I've had all of that, but how I handled it and how I handle it is how the choices that I make. And this is what reflections does, is it helps you to take that look in the mirror and then just understand the choices that you've made and how you could make some better choices. How you can make some better choices is the biggest thing. And so that's what I'm really excited about, is understanding for people to, and that's why it's not for everybody, because everybody isn't ready to take responsibility, right?
Right.
Everybody's not ready to take responsibility for their actions. Can I say, yeah, my husband came home and said he didn't want to be married no more? Yeah, it did. It happened. You know what I mean? But what else can I say? Am I just going to not love anymore the rest of my life? Am I not worthy of love because of that?
Right.
You know what I mean? So
definitely.
It is. And so that choice and that responsibility. And VANCITO, I know you want to wrap up on that.
No, I was going to say, let them know how they can get in touch with us.
Yes. How can they reach out to y'all and join Reflections, and just give your information to us, please?
So reflection starts on a new moon. It's March the 2nd, and that is important for us because new moons bring in new energy, new spirituality, new, and it's March the 2nd, and just positive changes. A new moon brings that positive changes. So it is March the 2nd. Our phone number is 318-618-1016, or you can always email us, michelledi.04.0456 @gmail. michelledi.0456 @gmail.com. Or you can always reach out to us on Facebook. So Facebook or our social media handle.
Yeah. We haven't finalized all the bells and whistles, but within a week or so we'll have everything laid out. And it'll be more accessible to those. But in the meantime, please, utilize what Michelle repeat that information, and plus we'll put it in the body of our stuff here too.
Yes, phone number is
318. We'll put it in the body. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yes, 318-618-1016, and then Michelle, michelledi.0456 @gmail.com. So send us an email, just label it Reflections. You can put your contact information in there and we'll get in contact with you.
Okay. All righty. Well, thank y'all for joining us and sharing what Reflections is. And I'm looking forward to just continuing following y'all and just seeing everything that y'all have to offer and support Reflections, because it is truly needed. Like everyone, like you said, needs to reflect and look at yourself in the mirror.
Yes. And again, nobody is too old or too young. We've had, our oldest member was 70 years old, and she made remarkable strides the last time. So you're never too old if you think. Don't let anything hold you back. If that's anything, then that will help break generational curses in your family.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yes. And I've helped people come off of taking multiple medications on a daily basis, completely wipe that out. So it is possible. You can do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank y'all so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. This is our last show of the year of 2021. I know. So
y'all saved the best for last. I understand. Y'all saved the best.
Look, we did.
That's smart.
All right. Well, y'all have a good one. Be safe. We love y'all, and we will be talking to y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, y'all, we've had an amazing show. Like I said, this is our last show for 2021. Man, this year has gone by so fast. We've had so many great things happen with BAM Woman Magazine, with BAM Guy Magazine, with BAM Woman Show Live with Jen and Toyia. We just want to thank you again for supporting us, for coming to the things that we attend or that we put on, supporting the magazine. And I want to shout out Rail Jones. She is responsible for this Boss Lady tee that I'm wearing today. She actually had her soft grand opening, Kai's Closet Boutique. So if you're in Tyler, stop by there and do some shopping. All righty then. Well, we will see y'all beautiful people in the new year. Check out our outro.
To push myself to victory.